Yo 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 yo.
Jess is be here in a minute. Charlamagne the God.
Peace to the planet. It's Tuesday. How y'all feel out there? I feel blessed, black, and highly favored. Happy to be here. Another day to serve our beautiful listeners, man. Good morning. You know, every day we come into this radio station, and you know we say happy to be here. Another day to serve our beautiful listeners. I thank God for another day of life. I truly, truly, truly mean that, man. Because when you hear news like you heard yesterday about the tragic passing of Malcolm-Jamal Warner, then you know that life is not promised in any way, shape, or form. Like there's just really nothing you can do to duck death when it's your time.
No, very sad, very sad. Rest in peace to Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Condolences to his family. It's just sad because
you think about all the situations that you try to avoid as a person, right? Like, you know, just to prolong this thing called life.
Right.
But damn, you on family vacation.
Right.
With your family.
Right.
Your wife and your daughter. Just doing what we all do on vacation, in the water, enjoying the swim, and a current takes you out.
Pulls you in.
Man. Come on, man.
Pulls you in, man.
Come on, man. That's why I always be having these conversations with myself just about karma and energy. I don't know if I believe in any of that. You know, I live it because I feel like, you know, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to, you know, put out what you want to get back. But I don't know if any of that really is true.
Yeah, if it transcends. I don't know. I don't know either, but you live right regardless. Because you just want to be a good person.
That's right.
And, you know, the thing with Malcolm-Jamal Warner, of course we all grew up on him, right? So we seen him grow through his shows, through, you know, the Cosby Show, through Malcolm and Eddie, through all the things that he did. So it almost feels like you have a personal relationship with him.
Absolutely.
And what makes it even crazier is, you know, I was on my book tour 3 weeks ago, and I just did his podcast. And we sat down for about 2 hours. And we didn't talk about music. We didn't talk about the industry. All we did was just talk about being a dad and how happy he was being a dad, and he was telling about his relationships and that he got married at, I think, at like 45 years old, and he found the one, and he was so excited and just so proud of his family, and he liked to do the little things. He like you know, it's cool when you run into another dad that's like you, that who cares about all this other stuff. You just care about being a father and showing up and
that's most good fathers,
things.
Though. Most good fathers care about being a father. Most good fathers don't care about anything else except being there for their
that is correct.
Sons and daughters.
But a lot of people they say they're good fathers,
but they're not good fathers. Hey,
exactly.
We don't even talk about that.
Exactly.
Like if you're not doing those little things, you're not a good dad.
But we were talking about just, you know, like, you know, going to your daughter's dance and knowing the dance, and you know your daughter's cheer and how proud you are when they win.
Being
and
a father.
It's the most
actually
amazing
being
feeling.
A father.
And we sat there for 2 hours, and me, Gia, and himself, and we just spoke about it. It was just amazing conversation. So when I seen that yesterday, it hit very close to home because I'm like, damn. He wasn't doing nothing wow.
That's what I'm saying. Like we do all of these
doing
things.
Something crazy.
We do all of these things.
He was on vacation.
We do all of these things to prolong our life, and all of these things we try to avoid. But literally, you just on family vacation with your wife and your daughter, and you know something like that happens to you. Something that tragic happens to you. So you know you just can't avoid it. So every single day that you wake up, you should really, truly thank God for this thing called life, because you just never, ever know.
That's right. Well, we're gonna replay one of our interviews with him when he pulled up on us.
You know, the first time Malcolm-Jamal Warner ever came up here was in 2023 when we relocated to this new studio we called the Black Mothership. It was January of 2023, the first week of January. We had just got back from vacation. He was the first guest to bless this new studio.
That's right. He was the first guest. So we're gonna get that back on and you know just celebrate his life a little bit. And if you get an opportunity, go to his YouTube page where he has his podcast, and you can see some of those dope conversations that he had, and just being a husband and a father. And I think, which is crazy, I think the last one that he did was me and Gia, my wife. So definitely check those out. We're going to get that on this morning. We got front page news next. Don't go anywhere. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Now, some quick sports. Chris Paul has agreed to go to the LA Clippers for his last season. This will be his 21st NBA season. He's saying after this is wrap. So
that's dope.
He's playing for the Clippers for his last season.
Yeah, I mean, he had a great run with the Clippers.
That's right.
Way back when. So And the Clippers are championship contenders. So I like to see people that have had great careers, that have never won rings. At the end of their careers, that's what they should be trying to do, win a ring. I hate when they just be on some team that, don't have a chance in hell. But the Clippers
they got a shot.
Yeah, they got Bradley Beal now, too.
Yeah, they got a shot.
Kawhi Leonard.
What's up, Morgan?
James Harden.
All right, okay, keep clocking it. I like that. All right, hey y'all, how y'all feeling on a Tuesday? Good. All right, let's get into first on front page. The former Louisville police officer convicted in relation to the death of Breonna Taylor is being sentenced to 33 months in prison. Brett Hankinson was found guilty of violating Taylor's civil rights when he fired blindly into her apartment in 2020 during a botched raid. Now, his bullets didn't hit anyone, and last week the Department of Justice recommended he only receive 1 day behind bars. Before sentencing, 4 protesters were arrested outside the courthouse, including Breonna Taylor's aunt, attorney Benjamin Crump, Breonna Taylor's mother, Tamika Palmer, and her boyfriend, Kenny Walker, who was there, spoke outside the courthouse during a press conference following the sentencing. And here's what here's what attorney Ben Crump had to say about that sentence.
We thank the judge for her attention to detail and for setting the record straight that he was convicted of depriving Breonna Taylor of her civil rights, Fourth Amendment seizure. And that is a crime that we acknowledge in America that you go to prison for. So he is going to prison, and we have to keep watching as to when he is going to go to prison.
So Tamika Palmer, Breonna Taylor's mother, and her boyfriend, Kenny Walker, also spoke outside the courthouse, and they talked about whether or not they felt like they received justice. Let's take a listen to their comments.
I feel like we got something.
Yeah.
We got something. I don't think it was a fair sentencing, but it was a start.
I'm grateful for the small piece of justice that we got. It's definitely not what I was expecting. And Brett Hankinson told me I was going to go to jail for the rest of my life, so I definitely feel some type of something to see him going for, even if it's a little time.
Yeah.
There's so much going on in the world that I forgot that trial was even happening, and I forgot what the cop was on trial for. So less than 3 years, is that the appropriate sentence? I mean, if they're happy about it, I mean, we should be too, right?
I guess, it's certainly a stark contrast from 1 day. So, 33 months goes to show that, at least some justice can be served, or at least to your point, the family is semi-satisfied. So, yeah. So in other news, some civil rights activists are criticizing the release of Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassination file. The Trump administration released thousands of pages yesterday.
That's not what the street's asking for. The street's asking for the Epstein files. Don't try to. They're not going to deflect. Don't try to distract. That's not what the street's asking for. The streets is asking for the Epstein files.
I was going to get to that, but yeah, pretty much that's what it is. So the Trump administration released thousands of pages yesterday, all related to King's 1968 death. Atlanta's King Center called it ill-timed. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard said the documents detail the FBI's investigation into the assassination, discussing potential leads and information about the assassin, James Earl Ray's former cellmate, and more. What Reverend Al Sharpton called it a desperate attempt to distract the firestorm over Trump not unsealing files over Jeffrey Epstein's death.
Yeah,
so,
MAGA did not call. MAGA did not call for no MLK Jr. assassination files. That's not what MAGA wants. Listen to your base, Trump. MAGA wants them Epstein files, okay?
No, for real. But House Speaker Mike Johnson says there won't be a vote on releasing those files related to Epstein before lawmakers at least go on break in recess in August. So we'll have to wait to see if those files get released following the August recess.
Remember I told y'all last week, early last week when all of this first started happening, I was like, you're going to see so much flooding of the zone, meaning there's going to be so many different news stories that come out that try to distract and deflect from them Epstein files. And boy, he's been throwing some stuff against the wall, but it ain't nothing sticking. Because everybody want to see them Epstein files.
The people want to know. All right, y'all. So that's your front page news for 6 a.m. at 7. We'll get into what's happening with we'll get into more presidential news. We'll get into it. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Morgan. Everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open again. 800-585-1051. What up, Jess?
What's up, man?
You all greened out right now,
know,
looking
you know what I
trendy
mean?
and fly.
Love that. Thank you.
Okay. Get it off your chest. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Ray.
Yo, Charlamagne, Envy, what up? Are we live?
This is your time to get it off your chest.
I got an indoor pool, an outdoor pool.
We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
We can get on the phone right now. He'll tell you what it is.
We live? Hello, who's this?
Hey, good morning, Envy. This is OG Wayne in Los Angeles. Good morning, everybody.
Morning, OG Wayne.
Why
What's up?
you up so early, man? It's 3:13 out there. 3:13 in the morning. Well, 3-something in the morning.
Hey, well, you know, Charlamagne. Good morning, my man. How you doing?
Blessed, black, and highly favored, brother. How you?
Yes, you are. I'm just calling in. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me slow my roll. Is my queen Jess there?
I'm here. How you doing?
Good morning. Beautiful. I just have to say good morning to you. You know, you're the queen of the morning.
Good morning.
But,
I appreciate that.
So, no. But I just want to touch on Malcolm-Jamal Warner, you know, a real young brother that was doing it the right way.
Yes, sir.
That never did let his celebrity, you know, go to his head. He always stayed grounded. You know, he was just a real man. And I just want to say to everybody that I'm born in 1954. I'm an old man, you know, thank God. But everybody got to repent for their sin, you know, and be born again in Jesus' name, because you just never know, you know, when your time is up.
That's right.
And just take care of each other. You know what I'm saying? You know, Charlamagne, you a good dude, got a great family. Envy, you a good dude, great family. Jess, you a beautiful queen, great family. You know, I only want the best for all y'all and y'all family. And I want the listeners to be blessed also. But just take heed to my little words, and thanks for taking my call, and love all y'all.
Love you too. Thank you, brother.
Hello, who's this?
Yeah, what's going on, Envy? Good morning.
Morning.
Charlamagne, good morning.
Good morning, King. How you doing, brother?
Yes. Everybody, I'm good, man. How you?
Good.
Blessed, black, and highly favored, man.
Yeah, respect. Hey, Charlamagne, man, I talked to you before about trying to help us put together a Myrtle Beach R&B Music Fest.
Yes,
Come on,
sir.
Charlamagne, man. You know the South. You know the South don't hardly get nothing. You know what I'm saying, like that, man. You know we got the Country Music Fest. That's fire. You know we got the Gospel Fest. That's fire. You know we got the Jazz Fest come through. That's fire. But man, we need something else down here, Charlamagne.
Oh, I agree.
As far as I understand, we got the boots on the ground. Get ready to come through. That's fine. But Charlamagne, man, if we could put together a R&B Myrtle Beach Music Fest, that really put us where we need to be. I know Brenda Bethune personally. I used to cook for her husband and his business partner. I don't know, man. Maybe that might get the ball rolling. But man,
let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the bandwidth right now. I'm not even gonna lie to you right now, but like that is definitely something for the future.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put you on hold
All
and
right,
get your information. Get his information for me, Eddie.
Yeah, that you know what? This is crazy because I'm actually gonna bring the car show to the Carolinas next year. We've been trying to get. The problem is,
he said he want R&B, man. Your car sing?
I'm gonna tell you something. This guy don't listen. He was talking about bringing different things. He wants to bring an R&B festival, but he was talking about bringing different things to the city.
Well, they get a lot of car shows,
where people can do it. Mine is a little different.
Yeah, but car shows are big in South Carolina.
Yeah,
you know
but
what I'm saying?
we're gonna do one in, I think, either Charlotte or Columbia. We're gonna do one next year. We've been looking for the space, and we just try to do things where people can do things outside of just go to the club, and something where you can bring families, and there's carnival rides, and there's games for kids, and not just cars where adults are there.
Like the car shows in Columbia, like you gonna have to do it real big, because you know back in the day it used to be like my man Big Mo and Black, they'd bring like Plies, Boosie.
Yeah, now we not bringing artists. Mine is gonna be family. Like, mine is family. I want you to bring your kids 5 and under free. Like, we're gonna do it like that.
Kids like Boosie, kids like Plies.
Okay, I don't have no performers. I'm telling you, I'm gonna have 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds.
I'm just
and 5-year-olds.
telling you, I'm just saying the South Carolina, car shows are a big deal.
I didn't say they wasn't a big deal. I just said I'm bringing mine down there.
We need more though.
That's all I said. I said I'm bringing mine down there. That's all I said.
Nice.
But get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. This is your time to get it off your chest, whether you're mad or blessed.
I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. Everything with me is blessed.
Call up next. 800-585-1051.
Not just me. I'm with the culture feeling.
Hello, who's this?
Good morning. This is Michelle. How are you guys?
Hey, Michelle. Good morning. Get it off your chest.
Good morning, Jess. Hey, Charlamagne.
Peace, Michelle. How are you?
I'm amazing. I'm doing good, all things considered. So, just like you said, Malcolm-Jamal Warner grew up with us. I'm 50 years old. I just turned 50, July 7th. Happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday. Cancer
Thank
gang.
you so much. Yes, Cancer Nation. I had a tough time sleeping last night. Like, when you hit 50 and then you see someone 54 just lose their life so tragically who grew up with you. Well, not literally, but, figuratively. I said, oh, my God, you guys. I stopped. I got out the shower, and I said, let me call them.
Yeah, man. And you know what? I'm glad you said something. You said something just now that's also accurate, man. A lot of times I see people get on social media and they be like, praying for the family of Malcolm-Jamal Warner. When you heard the news, did you really stop and pray? Because that's what I do when I hear tragic situations. I really stop in that moment and I pray for that brother in that moment. People be so quick to post and want to get content up and act like they care. But do you really, really care in that moment? Because you should.
Yeah, I stopped and I prayed for his wife and his daughter. I didn't pray for him, but I did pray for his wife and his daughter.
I did too this morning.
Yeah, I did. Y'all have a wonderful day, okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good
and
one.
smile. Smile. It's hard, but smile.
Man,
you smile as well.
Man.
I will. Thank you. Love you guys.
Love you too.
All right, bye-bye.
Yeah, again, rest in peace to Malcolm-Jamal Warner, man.
I'm telling you, man, it's the way he went out too. It's like, yo, man, we try so hard to avoid putting ourselves in situations that could be potentially dangerous. There's nothing that has your guard down more and makes you, feel safer than being on vacation with your family,
right?
Swimming in the water, and that's just an act of nature that you can't control. My God.
No,
God,
not at all. Not at all. And we're going to get back on our interview with him in the next hour when he stopped through. He was the first guest in this new studio, so we're going to get that back on. And the thing is, he was just a good brother, a good,
super solid
dude. You know what I mean? So we're going to get that back on in a little bit. We got
intentional with the way he lived his life.
That's right. And we got the latest with Loren?
Yes, we do. We're going to, continue to pay tribute to Malcolm-Jamal Warner.
All right. We'll get to that. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Yes, it's the world's most dangerous morning show, The Breakfast Club. Charlamagne the God, DJ Envy, Jess Hilarious, and it's time for the latest with Loren.
Loren becoming a straight fact.
She gets them from somebody that knows somebody.
She gets the details.
I'm the homegirl that knows a little bit about everything.
She be having the latest on you.
The latest with Loren LoRosa.
Sometimes she have facts, sometimes she have details, sometimes she have a little bit of everything.
Well, it's the latest.
On The Breakfast Club.
Talk to me.
So we want to take some time to send a rest in peace and just pay respects and tribute to Malcolm-Jamal Warner, Emmy-nominated actor, musician, poet, father, husband. He was, of course, beloved for his role as Theo on The Cosby Show, which earned him a nomination for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series at the 30th Emmys. He also starred in the sitcom Malcolm and Eddie. In 2015, he received a Grammy Award for Best Traditional R&B Performance for the song Jesus' Children alongside Robert Glasper. In 2024, June of 2024, he decided to launch his podcast, Not All Hood, and he talked a lot about why this podcast was so special to him because it's centered around discussing the lives and experiences of Black Americans, which he was really big on doing and platforming. So I want to, right now, let's take a listen to Malcolm talking about why he was so excited about fatherhood and being a husband. Let's take a listen.
So I met my wife, I was 45, and I spent more of my adult years in long-term relationships than not.
Okay.
But when I met my wife at 45, I was like, I got it. Everybody says, when they say, when you know, you know. And that always sounded, and being in these long-term relationships, that always sounded like a really cool concept. But when I met my wife, after a couple months, I was like, oh, that's what when you know, you know. I get it. But when I think about, had I gotten married any earlier, Oof. I know I definitely would not have been as effective a husband and father as I am now.
Yeah.
That was when we actually did his podcast, me and my wife Gia, we would, from our book tour, but he was just talking about how much he loved his wife and how much he loved his daughter and how he enjoyed being a father, and that was like the highlight of his life at that time.
Yes.
Doing those events, going to the school and doing the things like that. And that's what we would really sat there for 2 hours and just discuss that. Me and my wife and him just discuss being a father and being in a relationship. So solid, good brother, man.
Yes. And when we talk about, I know you guys were talking about earlier when we opened the show this morning, just about kind of like some of the circumstances. I do want to just fill in some of that of like what happened as well, because we talk about like family. You guys were talking about family vacation earlier. Malcolm-Jamal Warner was on a family vacation in Costa Rica with his family when the drowning incident happened. So people for sure, y'all were talking about sending prayers yesterday. I know for me that was one of the first things I did when I heard the story was pray for his wife and his daughter. And what's also insane is he talked a lot about the fact that he waited because he wanted to make sure that he got it right when he became a dad. He became a dad later in life, and there was a moment on his Instagram that he shared. It was from his daughter's birthday, where he had like this sunflower in his ear, and people were like, "Why do you have the sunflower?" He began to talk about, let's take a listen. He talks about his relationship with his daughter a bit more.
Yes, I got the flower in my hair. Today's my daughter's birthday. She put the flower there, so I'm rocking it. It's a beautiful day here in Atlanta. I just wanted to shout out and just spread some love and some good cheer. And, life is out here lifing, right? For me and for everybody else. But just wanted to remind you, as I remind myself, that no matter what's going on, there's always a reason to smile. Like, if you just take a minute to stop and take stock, I guarantee you can find at least one reason to smile. And if for some reason you can't find a reason to smile, then that's probably the best time to be the reason for somebody else to smile. Try to smile for yourself and be a reason for someone else to smile. That's all I got. Listen to love because it's been a minute. Peace and love, and I'll be back soon.
Man, blessings to that brother, man. I'm telling you, man, we spend all this time trying to avoid potential dangerous situations just so we can prolong this thing called life. And this brother was just out with his family on vacation, doing something we all do when we on vacation, swimming, and something tragic like that happens, man. Yeah. Life is not promised to anybody.
Yeah.
Now, they said, I guess when it happened, somebody else was taken to the hospital. Was that a family member or that was just a random person?
That person hasn't been confirmed as a family member. They're just being listed as a second individual from the reports that I saw. They were injured during the incident. According to the Costa Rican Red Cross, the second individual was rushed to a local clinic and is in critical condition. Their current condition as of right now is unknown. But yeah, of course they're doing their investigations, trying to figure out more of what happened and all of the things, but Malcolm-Jamal Warner was declared, dead at the scene, and then this person was taken to the hospital.
Wow. Man, really pray for that brother, man. Before you run to social media and post about how this situation makes you feel, take the time to really pray for that brother, Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Take the time to really pray for that brother's family. I know we feel like we knew Malcolm-Jamal Warner because of the roles he played, but that was a man with a real family who knew him in a real way, and they are going through it in ways that we don't understand. So take the time to think about them before you think about yourself. And I was thinking about his father, man, because he spoke about his father so much and how much his father, poured into him, and now his father has to bury his child.
Yeah, and he actually sat down with Melissa Ford, and he talked a lot about his relationship with his dad and his legacy that he wanted to leave. We have that clip. Let's take a listen.
Life, it's fragile, and in the blink of an eye,
you never know.
You never know. So speaking of legacy, what do you hope that your legacy is going to be?
Man, because I'm 54, I think about that a lot. So it's interesting. I remember my mother said to me one time that Mr. Cosby gave you immortality.
Facts. That is very true.
Right? So I know on one lane, there's legacy there. But also because my life, those former years were always about life beyond Cosby, right? So I feel like, okay, there's that legacy there. But then because I've had this full life, after that show, There's another lane of legacy that I get to leave, and I'm still working through that.
Yes.
Rest in peace.
You just got to live and be intentional about living.
Mm-hmm.
Be intentional about being a good person.
Yeah.
Because you want to be a good person. You know, being a good person doesn't mean, bad things won't happen to you. You just hope they won't. But being a good person doesn't guarantee that. So you just got to be a good person for the sake of being a good person.
For humanity, that's right. Rest in peace. And again, condolences to that brother's family.
That is so sad.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is the latest with Loren. In about 10 minutes, we're going to replay the interview when he came up here. He was the first guest in our new studio.
January of 2023.
And we're going to get that back on. He was so appreciative of that, of both interviews. He came up here, of the conversations, and we played his music. He was so excited. And he just said it just sparked so much conversation, so much talk online. And we're going to get that back on. So don't go anywhere. Front Page News is next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get back in some Front Page News. Now, some quick sports. Salute to Chris Paul. He's agreed to deal. I'm not sure what the deal was, but his last deal, because this is the last expected final season, he's going to be playing with the Clippers. So congratulations to Chris Paul. He had an amazing career. What's up, Morgan?
Hey, y'all. Hey, so I do want to give a quick weather alert, just kind of a heads up that severe weather could cause flash flooding in the Midwest and on the East Coast this week. Elsewhere, a heat dome could send temperatures soaring into triple digits. The flooding risk is greatest across Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia. So please take heed to any local alerts that come to your phone and your TVs and things like that through across media. Meanwhile, places like Kansas City and Dallas could see 100 degrees or more. Forecasters say the heat wave may stick around for a while thanks to drought and limited rainfall in places like Kansas and Nebraska. In other news, the White House is blaming the policies or Biden policies for, the White House is blaming the policies of former President Biden for the shooting of an off-duty police patrol officer in New York City, an off-duty border patrol officer. Now, spokesperson, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says Biden's immigration policies allowed for the suspect, an illegal immigrant, to enter the U.S. and roam free. She added that that's the reason why President Trump won 2024's election. Let's take a listen to her comments.
This tragedy that took place over the weekend at the hands of yet another illegal alien invader who was allowed into our country and released by the Biden administration. And this is exactly why President Trump was elected into office with an overwhelming mandate to secure our homeland.
So the officer was shot in the face and is expected to survive that incident. Meanwhile, Border Enforcement Director Tom Homan and Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem visited the Border Patrol officer. Now, Russo from the Department of Homeland Security calls the Border Patrol officer a hero, while New York City Mayor Eric Adams says the goal is to get dangerous people off the streets. Let's take a listen to their comments in part. That's Frank Russo from the Department of Homeland Security and New York City Mayor Eric Adams.
He did exactly what we ask of all of our officers under the circumstances. He executed our mission, which is to protect the country.
Migrant and asylum seekers who are bringing violence and really tarnish the reputation of those who come to this country to pursue the American dream.
So the NYPD alleges Miguel Francisco Nunez shot the Border Patrol officer who returned fire during an apparent botched robbery. Nunez has been wanted for numerous crimes in New York. President Trump says Mora was apprehended at the border for illegally coming in 2023 under the Biden administration, but instead of being deported, he was released. So,
man, it's horrible what happened to that officer. And I feel like the climate of the country we live in is what leads, to stuff like that. And it's sad that, that situation is going to be politicized, for the next few days.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, switching gears, let's take a listen. Listen up if you use Power Stick deodorant, and then I'm going to get up out of here.
Don't nobody use no deodorant. Have you smelt these people in the morning?
Shut up, yo.
Have you been outside lately?
So Power Stick deodorant Power Stick deodorant users, not calling you losers, but listen up. Over 67,000 cases of roll-on deodorant sold nationally have been voluntarily recalled over a manufacturing defect. A report from the FDA says a voluntary recall was initiated by AP Duvel LLC, the manufacturer of Power Stick deodorants. Now, more than 67,000 cases of 3 different types of antiperspirant are being recalled. The affected products include Power Stick for Her roll-on antiperspirant deodorant powder fresh, Power Stick Invisible Protection roll-on antiperspirant deodorant Spring Fresh, and Power Stick Original Nourishing Invisible Protection roll-on antiperspirant deodorant. An FDA report says the deodorant was recalled for CGMP deviations, meaning the manufacturer failed to maintain some sort of good manufacturing current practices in some way. So if you use Power Stick, just go ahead and throw it out of the way or take it back to your retailer. And don't use that because there's a recall underway for that. And maybe switch brands.
I'm going to be honest with you. Now is not the time to be recalling deodorant, okay? We need all the deodorant on the streets that we can.
Too hot for that, right?
No. Yes. Now is not the time
just me. I
to
thought
be
my nose
recalling
was
deodorant, okay? I don't care if you know what it may be causing people, okay? If it's causing them not to stink, it's worth it.
Oh, man. All right, so that's your front page news. He said, listen. And that's your front page news. I'm Morgan Wood. Y'all can follow me on socials at Morgan Media. That's MorgynMedia. And for more news coverage, follow at Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app and visit us at BINnews.com. Thank y'all. Have an amazing Tuesday.
You too. And I just want to say before we continue on, I just want to say thank you, God. And the reason I'm saying thank you, I heard this story this morning coming to work about this uncle who threw his niece down the garbage chute in Staten Island. They don't know the reason why, but he threw his 1-year-old niece down the garbage chute, and she survived with no issues and no problems. How crazy is that? Like, through the I don't know how many floors, but through the garbage chute, they had to go rescue her, and she was fine. So I just wanted to say that happened in Staten Island yesterday. I'm sure it'll be everywhere today, but
God still got a plan for her.
That's right. So, Jesus. All right. Now, when we come back, Malcolm-Jamal Warner, he passed away, rest in peace. He did the first interview in our new studio here, 2 years ago?
2023. It was January 2023. It was the first week back from vacation for us. And yeah, he was the first guest in this new studio. And I mean, he is, when we sit down and we have these long form conversations, this is the reason I love long form conversations, you know, because of sadly moments like this, you know, because you get to know people in those long form conversations. And, you know, when people pass or when you want to learn more about a person, you tap into those long form conversations. So I'm happy that a lot of people heard the interview and watched the interview before he passed away. But, you know, now that, you know, he's gone, we can, you know, pay tribute to him, you know, in a real way by rerunning this interview.
And when I seen him a couple of weeks ago, he was so appreciative because he was like, you guys actually played my music. And he was like, people were calling me about the music. And he went viral for something he said. I can't remember what he said. But
there was a lot of things in that conversation that went viral.
He went viral for something, but he was like, you know, the good thing about it is, he said he doesn't really care. He didn't care what people said, but he just cared about it opened up conversation. Yeah. And he was just so happy for that interview. So definitely rest in peace. We're going to get that interview back on when we come back. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Rest in peace to Malcolm-Jamal Warner. We're going to get back on an interview when he was up here. He actually, when we move into the new studio, he was our first guest. So let's get into that interview now. It's The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
You know what's interesting? I was thinking about, you know, organically who was going to be the first guest in the new Breakfast Club studio. Because to me, that's important. Because you're setting off a new generation. You're setting off a new chapter. So who would be the first guest?
Word. Wow.
And I'm honored.
Legend.
We should be honored.
Icon.
Come on, man.
Grew up on him.
Come on, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Malcolm-Jamal Warner.
Hey.
Welcome.
Word. You know, you said first guest, and I didn't really register.
But
before we start, but now, okay, I got it.
That's you were the first guest in our new studio.
Ladies and gentlemen, first guest of the year. First guest in the new studio.
Take that.
Some of y'all know him as Theo Huxtable, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome.
Word, thank you.
Now, you're from Jersey City. Now, for most people
up.
that don't know, how did you get your start in show business? Because we heard that you were a rapper at first. You were in a rap group.
Yeah.
Almost signed by Def Jam at the time. Any truth to that?
That was after Cosby, though, right?
Yeah, that was after Cosby. That was after Cosby.
So how did you get your start with show business?
I was doing basically community theater. My mother was always looking for me to looking for things for me to do outside of going to school and coming home and hanging out. So like I played basketball, and that was my thing. I thought I was going to be a basketball player. And then one year basketball season was over, my mother's friend suggested this community theater and asked me if I wanted to go. So I went down, auditioned, got in, and found myself doing theater and just absolutely loved it. So like at 9 years old, I was like, oh, this is what I want to do. And what it was the first curtain call. Like the first play I did was called Alice, Is That You? And it was basically a takeoff of The Wiz. Like Dorothy gets to Oz and everybody thinks she's Alice from Alice in Wonderland.
Hilarious.
Right? And I played the Tin Man. And I just remember the first opening night coming out for curtain call, coming out and people clapping and standing up. And I'm like 9 years old, and I'm like, yo, I can get into this.
Yeah.
People stand up and clap for you. Yeah, I like this.
How did you book Cosby? What was that process like?
That's funny. So when my agent first submitted me, they were looking for a 6'2", 15-year-old.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
They was all getting ready for the NBA.
They was clear. Well, because Ennis, Ennis was 15 and was 6'2".
Who was Ennis?
Mr. Cosby's son.
Oh, okay, got you.
So in the original script, like there was this running joke, like, Theo would, get in trouble with something and Cliff would be like, Theo, stand up. And Theo stands up and he's towering over Cliff, and Cliff would be like, Theo, sit down.
Oh, okay.
So they were trying to get that. They couldn't find that kid.
Okay.
And she submitted me. They didn't want to see me. And at the last minute, she resubmitted me because they couldn't find the guy, and they were doing network callbacks. This is crazy because this was Good Friday, 84. I auditioned at 6:30 on Friday afternoon, and the network callbacks were that Monday. So they were already flying in somebody from Chicago, flying in somebody from New York. So I was literally the last person they saw. And when I went in for the network callbacks, I went in and I did the audition like, you see, I was watching Different Strokes and whatnot. So you see kids being smart Alex and talking back to the parents and rolling their eyes. So I was doing the scene like that. And in the room is, network, producers, studio, and I'm killing in the room. Everybody's like, I'm hitting all the beats and everybody's laughing and I'm killing, and I finish and everybody's like, cool, except Mr. Cosby. And he's looking at me and he's like, would you really talk to your father like that? And I said, no. He said, well, I don't want to see that on the show. So you go back out and you give me something else and come back later. And because it was the network callbacks, like everybody was there. So they had, auditioned everybody for other parts. And then finally I came back in and gave them a 180-degree turn.
Well, clearly he saw something in you, though.
Yeah. And they gave me the shot to come back and redo it, and that's how I booked it.
You know what's interesting about what you said earlier? You said that you was in theater at 9 years old. So people see these gifted young actors on shows like Cosby back in the day, and we don't realize the background because nowadays it feels like it's no point of entry to get on these TV shows or anything.
or social media. Or social media becomes danger. Yeah.
Like you actually went and were perfecting your craft before you got to that point.
Yeah, and I still do. Like I've always, every couple of years I'll do theater. Even when I was on Cosby, I always go back to theater because that is the. That's the foundation, So I always say like theater is my favorite platform. Television is my favorite paycheck, but theater is really like that's. That's the right there.
Have you ever just sat back and reflected on what you and the Cosby Show meant to black people in really the world from 84 to 92?
Yeah. It's something that we still talk about. Right, so
who's we? When you say we, the cast?
I'm saying we like worldwide. The culture.
Yeah.
Because it's had an indelible, irreversible effect.
Yeah.
On the culture. So it's something I'm very proud. Like no matter what, I'm very proud to, have been a part of that and part of that. Just to have that kind of, I guess, influence, if you will. And when I was younger. I was always trying to escape this role model, title. Because I was like, oh, Malcolm-Jamal is a role model. And my thing was always, we always equate perfection with role model. So I never wanted the pressure of being seen as flawless because I didn't want that. Like that wasn't me. So I used to kind of shy away from that, that title. But now that I'm older, not that I want to be considered a role model, but I do understand the, having the platform. I understand having the ear of young people. Like, fortunately, I'm still at a place where I'm still relevant enough where, what I say can still have influence on young people.
People gonna always listen to you because of that time period.
Sure, yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah. And that's something I take seriously. So I was really fortunate because we shot Cosby here in New York. And during the 80s, man,
y'all didn't show the other side of Brooklyn. That wasn't Brooklyn in the 80s.
That was actually
Manhattan.
That was actually we shot in Brooklyn, then we shot in Queens, but that front stoop was actually in the Village.
In the Village, yeah.
That wasn't even Brooklyn.
Right by the old station.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rest in peace to Malcolm-Jamal Warner. We're getting back on an interview when he was up here. Very sad. Condolences to his family. It's the Breakfast Club.
Did you look at Bill Cosby as a father figure? Because you were around him so much, you did so much acting, like
right.
And I mean, you were a good actor, but it was believable. It seems like you admired him as a father when I would watch the show, or even see you behind the scenes of the show, or whatever.
Well, maybe I was doing theater. I was perfecting my craft at 9 years old.
Great job.
Right. No, because my father has always been, an integral part of my life. So I have a father. He was, Mr. Cosby was obviously someone I worked with, someone I respected. But Ennis was also, a close friend of mine. So he was also like Ennis's dad.
Gotcha.
So it wasn't. I would definitely say he was a mentor because he schooled me on a lot of things. But I love the father-son relationship between Cliff and Theo, but that wasn't our relationship. But we're mad cool, but it wasn't the father figure.
Now, as a mentor, did he school you on to contracts and negotiations? Because that thing.
He said no.
It's still on now. And I'm like, do you still get paid? And was everything taken care of the right way, or is it you were a new actor, you got?
Yeah, we got. Well, no, I won't say we got. That's not true. That's completely unfair to say we got. But I will say this. So we get residuals, right? But the thing that people don't necessarily understand about residuals is every time an episode repeats, you get a percentage of what your original paycheck was, and that show has repeated forever.
Correct.
So let's say, to put things in perspective, about 10, 12 years ago, I remember getting an episode check for $64.
That's how the residual check be, a
that's
quarter sometimes.
Yeah, like at some point, the sending the check out costs more than what the check is.
Correct.
So for a period of time, though, that lump sum was a nice padding. But then after a while, once it just keeps airing, it's not a whole lot. But when you have points, when you've got back end, that's when you're forever making money. Because when they syndicate the show, however many times they syndicate it, you have a piece of the show, so you're getting that kind of money. We didn't get ownership.
Gotcha.
We had no back end. We didn't know about back end, and even if we did, we didn't have any leverage to negotiate back end.
Y'all all knew.
I want to ask, out of all your episodes, I'll ask Charlamagne. So my most memorable Cosby show is, of course, the Gordon Cottrell.
Season 1, episode 8.
Denise! It's over, isn't it? Is this my shirt? Is this the shirt I paid $30 for? Is this the shirt they're supposed to think is a Gordon Cottrell? You don't like it? Ask me the question again. You don't like it? I hate it. Look at it. It's the ugliest shirt I've ever seen.
I think it was season 1, episode 8.
Of course, the earring.
The earring. Dance Mania.
I did the same thing when I got my earring. So what was your favorite?
All of those, but I think that at the top of the list would be the pilot, when Theo was getting D's in school and they did the whole Monopoly money thing, and Theo gives this whole. That was the earring. Yeah, it was the earring.
Oh, that was the earring. Okay,
that was the earring. And Theo gives this speech. Dad, I just want to be regular people. Like, I don't want to be a doctor like you. I don't want to be a lawyer like Mom. I just want to be regular people. And
instead of acting disappointed because I'm not like you, maybe you can just accept who I am and love me anyway, because I'm your son.
Theo, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. No wonder you get D's and everything.
And so for me, that was significant because it set the tone for the show. Like any other show at that point, the music would have started.
Correct.
The father and son would have hugged.
Yep.
But he went left with that. And I just love that because that set the tone that this was going to be a different kind of show.
Gotcha.
We're going to talk to you about other stuff other than Cosby. As a fan, I got to get some.
First time here, we got to go.
No doubt. No, all good.
Did you ever keep the Gordon Gartrell shirt?
I did not. I think it's in the Smithsonian, if I'm not mistaken.
It should be.
Wow.
Yeah.
It should be.
Yeah.
That was a classic.
Yeah, that was one of our. That was definitely one of our most fun, and for me most memorable episodes.
Did you ever get approached about doing a Gordon Gartrell clothing line? Malcolm-Jamal Warner's Gordon Gartrell.
I'm surprised I have not, but I see there's a Gordon Gartrell like T-shirt line out somewhere. Yeah.
I was gonna ask how much of the show was free done and how much was actually written. Like, were you allowed to go off script because some of that stuff just seemed like y'all were going?
We had to often go off script because it takes it typically takes 5 days to do a sitcom. We got down to like 3.5 days. And, most of those storylines came from Mr. Cosby's monologues, right? So we were a very under-rehearsed show. So when it was time to tape the show, oftentimes, if Mr. Cosby had like a monologue or something, he wouldn't know the monologue. So he'd go left. And the fun part for us was when he went left, we had to go left with him. So, for me, it was great because like, oh, this is theater. Now we just, you follow the leader, you follow the followers, what we call it. So, and I love seeing those moments. With him and Olivia were cool, but like those moments with him and Keisha, because at the time, Keisha was 4, so she didn't know how to read. So she had to remember what to say, how to say it, and when to say it.
Wow.
And the when was always based on the line before. So she's doing scenes with Mr. Cosby and she's waiting for her line and he's just talking and they would just it was just really cool to watch her. And if you go back, you could just see her little brain processing how to maneuver through, what's happening. So though stuff was written, there was stuff that had to be kind of off book because we were following him. And Felicia was the best at that when you look at those episodes.
Rest in peace to Malcolm-Jamal Warner. We're getting back on an interview when he was up here. Very sad. Condolences to his family. It's the Breakfast Club. I was going to ask you, you never got caught up in the drug world or the alcohol? Because Studio 54, quarters back then was...
No. I could be around it, but it just wasn't... That wasn't me. I mean, look, my father named me after Malcolm X and Ahmad Jamal. Like, my father was not playing.
Wow.
So that's why I say, like before the fame, my foundation was so solid that I could be around all that stuff and not have to participate in that. So to be able to enjoy everything that being famous had to offer without being a knucklehead. And again, being in New York is different from growing up on television in LA. Because in LA, your best friend is on the same lot on the stage next door.
Right.
Whereas here in New York, there weren't other shows here. So I wasn't hanging out with actors.
Now, I got to give all props to your parents, though, because, even when you talk to somebody like Kim Fields, it's the same thing. She gives all her credit to her mom, because y'all had every right to wild out. Y'all were the biggest things moving.
Yeah, but we also came on the heels of Todd Bridges and Dana Plato. So we overlapped their journey. So I always felt like, well, we got no excuse.
You learn from that.
Yeah, we're seeing it's like you hear about stuff throughout history, but this was happening right now. I'm looking at Todd Bridges. So there was really no excuse for us to wild out like that.
Make the same mistake.
But again, I also say, because we lived in New York and not LA, we weren't hanging around other Hollywood kids. When we were shooting in Brooklyn, the NBC studios on Avenue M and East 14th Street, they didn't have a commissary. So at lunch, we had to go out into the neighborhood and get whatever we were going to eat. When we moved to Kaufman Astoria, their commissary was whack, so we went out into the neighborhood and went and got what we could get our lunch. So it was just a very different experience that we had being able to grow up in New York rather than grow up in television in Hollywood.
You said something earlier, and I wanted to ask you about, and you were saying that when you were promoting your jazz album, a lot of these outlets were saying that the only way that you can come up here is if you ask a question, if you answer a question about Bill Cosby. How were you able to navigate all those questions? Because although you have your own stuff going on, you're doing plays, you're acting, you're doing movies, sitcoms, you know, you have your music, but you almost kind of want to be like, I get it, but this is what I'm here for. So how did you navigate through all that without, you know, going down those lanes?
By turning by whatever the question is, answering it, you know, the best way I could. Like
they want to know, did you see him do this?
Yeah.
What about this?
Yeah.
You know,
and the reality is, I'm not in a position, like whatever it is you're trying to ask, I don't know. I was when I was a kid. And again, that was Innocent's dad, you know. So I am not in a position to defend him at all. And there's no need for me to try to throw him under the bus because the rest of the world is doing that. And, you know, the real is I know what everybody else knows. And everybody else knows what the press has told them. So I don't really have a real ground to stand on to speak on it as much as anybody else does. You know, so
and you might be biased because you saw a whole different side of him that none of us are privy to.
Yeah. Yes. And I saw a very human side of him. Like what everybody else is like, you know, he's America's favorite dad, and you know, they as people do with celebrities, you know, they put us on a pedestal. And again, that's why as a kid I don't want to be considered a role model and be perfect. I'm like, that's not me. But that's what we do to people. So while everyone is, you know, rah, I'm like, he's a man. He's got his own faults, and whatever faults I saw, though it wasn't that, I saw a man.
Absolutely.
So it's a different experience for me than it is for everybody else.
I've always loved how black your name is, man. And finding out that you named after Malcolm X, and you said Mumia Abu-Jamal?
Ahmad Jamal.
Ahmad Jamal. Okay, I'm not familiar with Ahmad Jamal.
He's a renowned jazz pianist.
Got you.
But he's if you could be a jazz pianist and be militant as that's Ahmad Jamal.
Right.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, before you get up out of here, would you mind doing a poem?
Okay. This piece is Asante Sana. Abadigani, comrade. What, you still on that freedom Word? Well, yeah, you know me in this poetry, we still be on that weedum that birthing inspirational couplets and breedum that I spit, cat should heed 'em that words can't break my bones, but if you cut me, Holmes, I bleed 'em. Atonement for the masses of hard asses and heads that tread on civil liberties in the most uncivilized of fashion is said to be dead. Can we afford to be dumb for free? See, that's the question I'm asking as I beg for an ounce of truth amongst the aloof surrounding me. My vices are proof that these demons keep hounding me. Reality keeps pounding me, almost astounding me into this strange hypocrisy. You see, I preach the same hope that I'm losing daily, like my religion. Peep how deep I bare my soul. I stand on the precipice of this crossroads. It's like I want to give my life to the cause, but which one? Ignorance is running so ridiculously rampant, I can't tell if I'm hating or merely debating just for fun. But I do know my heart heaves heavy upon hearing the fluttering hum of the feeble footsteps of fear, stamping out the ferocious flames of our dogged desire and determination to outpace the perilous prophecy our captors have programmed to be our faith, and thus our fate. I know my soul writhes with anxiety aches. Lies no longer need disguise when they start looking like the truth. Like, how do we ignore cries of ill-guided youth spitting dope bars of self-hate over beats that bang harder than strange fruit hangs? Meanwhile, her breasts hang and her booty bangs harder than the gun claps of rival gangs fighting over territory they don't even own. And in magic cities everywhere, she feeds her babies based on her ability to shake what her mama gave her because her pops was too busy breaking in his disappearing act to save her from these mean streets that eat the meek in one swallow. Lies no longer need disguise when the truth is viewed as hollow through the eyes that need it most. We, descendants of stolen legacies, children of ancestors who cannot be broken, birthers and bearers of a culture that has been repeatedly robbed and ransacked to feed the spiritually famine like a black woman's bosom. We who become a pre-existing condition simply because we pre-exist. We who realize we are worthy. We are the guardians. We are the gardeners. We are the soil, we are the toil, we are the protectors of our seeds who need to be protected, who need to see true love and black excellence redirected, not through fame and fortune, but redirected through character and deed. And indeed, it is those who stand on the front line, fighting for the minds of our young, black, and gifted. It is you who are an inspiration to me, because you are the revolution we do not see on TV. Asante Sana.
Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, Malcolm-Jamal Warner.
Thanks for
It's
having
the Breakfast
me.
Club. Good morning. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, you got it. Thank you.
You know what I just thought about?
What?
Fathers doing father things and passing away tragically hit so different. The first one we heard was Kobe.
Yes,
you know,
with his daughter.
And I remember being in Atlantic City on that Sunday with my daughter at her cheer competition and just thinking to myself, just a man getting up in the morning to go do something, his daughter's extracurricular activity, and end up passing away with his daughter. And it's the same thing with Malcolm-Jamal Warner. You're on vacation with your family, being a father, and something tragic happens.
Something tragic happens.
My God.
Yeah, but you can't live life scared. You still got to go on, but it is tragic, you know?
Yeah. It just shows you that you can't control it, you know? Like, and no matter what you put out into the world, accidents just do happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Death is just a part of life.
Yeah, my wife told me yesterday, get your dumb ass off that city bike. I rode the city bike yesterday upstairs. I have no helmet on, and we riding, and they electric bikes, they fast. My wife was like, what's wrong with you?
Right.
First of all, she should never let your dumb ass leave the house without a helmet, okay? We shouldn't even let you be in here without a helmet.
Shut up.
We shouldn't.
Shut up. Let's get to the latest.
Little Red Riri.
Lauren coming with straight facts.
She gets them from somebody that knows somebody.
She gets the details.
I'm the homegirl that knows a little bit about everything.
She be having the latest on this.
The latest with Loren LoRosa.
Sometimes she have facts, sometimes she have details, sometimes she have a little bit of everything.
Well, it's the latest.
On the Breakfast Club.
Talk to me.
Well, and keeping the conversation going on fatherhood and continuing to honor Malcolm-Jamal Warner, one of the most dynamic father-son duos that we saw on TV was Bill Cosby and Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Now, Bill Cosby has actually broke his silence and spoke out about the passing of Malcolm. Let's take a listen.
When the news came to me, and the news came to me in a way that we're not really sure, and we don't know this, and we don't know whether, because it's the same way I got the news about Ennis. I don't know about his swimming. I don't know what came and got him, but I do know that he is an honest person, and that media, I hope, will show the respect for him.
Yes.
Period.
He was speaking to Bill Cosby was speaking to Frankie Darcell from WDS in that interview, and I saw.
Are we sure that was Bill Cosby?
According to Frankie Darcell from WDS, but there was
that might have been Godfrey. Are we sure? Are we positive?
Oh my God.
That was Bill. But Bill said, he looked at him as like he felt like he lost another son when he passed away, when Malcolm passed away, because his son passed away when he was younger.
Yes. Yep, and there was also a story that Bill Cosby's rep did with TMZ where he kind of echoed some of the sentiments that he shared with Frankie Darcell. But he also talked about, the fact that he had spoken to Malcolm about 3 months ago. Malcolm was really excited about something new that he had written, and he was just on this whole conquest to save the world through his art. But I did want to, warm up the moment a bit, because I think a lot of people right now are just remembering how good the Cosby Show family moments made you feel.
Absolutely.
And I think that's why most, like our caller said this morning, you feel like you know Malcolm personally because of that show. So we have a clip from one of the episodes in the show, from the Cosby Show. Let's take a listen.
You're a doctor and mom's a lawyer, and you're both successful in everything, and that's great. But maybe I was born to be a regular person and have a regular life. If you weren't a doctor, I wouldn't love you less because you're my dad. And so, instead of acting disappointed because I'm not like you, maybe you can just accept who I am and love me anyway because I'm your son.
Theo, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. There's no wonder you get D's and everything.
That sound like my pops, man. That sound like my pops.
Yes. Oh my God. That was one of my favorite episodes. That was one of my favorite Theo moments, amongst others. But like, that is who I grew up on.
Yeah.
That's what I like. I love to hear that.
That show was so influential. When I did the podcast a couple of weeks ago, we were joking about it. He was like, he doesn't he realized the influence of that show because so many people come up to him, and not just that show, of course, The Different World as well. He was like, because people just lived that moment at the time. That's all we really seen on television. It wasn't that much on television, so
absolutely
you got to live through those Gordon Cottrell moments, and when he got his earring moments, and all that stuff. Like, you lived through it.
Gordon Cottrell was actually a staff member of their show who became a writer and producer.
Really?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Really good fact. Didn't know that. I met Malcolm-Jamal Warner like when I used to live in LA like 5 years ago. He was so cool.
Coolest dude ever.
So cool.
Really cool.
And of course I was like, Theo, just called him Theo, and he just looked like and I was like, I grew up on and then went on to watch his other projects and everything. But he was just so cool. Stopped, took a picture with me, was talking to me, and it was amazing. He was just like a regular person.
Great brother. I saw a clip last night that Malcolm-Jamal Warner said he didn't want to be known as Malcolm-Jamal Warner, the actor. He wanted to be known as Malcolm-Jamal Warner, the man. And I agree, because I do not like seeing people say R.I.P. Theo. Like, Malcolm-Jamal Warner was a real person, a real man, a real human with a real family. Theo's a character.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Some people just know him as Theo. Will never forget that role that he played.
I think in life,
in our houses, basically.
You set out to inspire through, he was doing a lot of work through his podcast, talking about being a dad, talking about being a man, through his work on camera as Theo, people became doctors, HBCU students, fathers, women wanted to be wives and be Claire Huck, like all these things. You just talk about impact, like, that's
definitely
where you leave it at with him.
Will definitely be missed, man. Rest in peace. And he also spoke about why he didn't want his kids, why he didn't want his daughter and his wife in the limelight, why he never put their name out. He didn't want them to be, he didn't want the industry to take over. He wanted to have something to himself. So definitely rest in peace, Malcolm-Jamal Warner, and condolences to his family.
Horrible, man. I mean, just like I said, just out doing regular daddy stuff. You just out with your family on vacation, and something tragic like this happens, man.
And we're going to open up the phone lines. 800-585-1051.
Let's just talk.
Yeah.
Let's just talk.
Would love to know what's on your mind. 800-585-1051. And we got Donkey today. Who you giving your Donkey to?
Man, 4 after the hour, there is a young woman in Florida named Tripura Mariex. She needs to come to the front of the congregation. We'd like to have a word with her, please.
Try what?
I don't know.
What race it is.
Crazy,
First of all, you don't know what race it is. You see, you are just, that's just terrible.
I didn't even guess.
What race is it?
I didn't guess yet.
What race is it?
We'll get to it later. Don't we got to wrap up?
What race is it?
Mariex.
What race is it, Lauren?
I don't know.
Yeah, of course.
Inclusive. That's what race it is.
It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
Some donkey today's just saw themselves.
I've been watching Charlamagne. I was ready for you.
I never heard of a donkey the other day. What is it?
I'm a donkey.
Say it again, Charlamagne.
I'm a donkey.
Yeah, you are a donkey.
I'll show you how to act a donkey.
Everything that Charlamagne is saying is true.
Donkey of the day for Tuesday, July 22nd goes to an 18-year-old young lady named Tripura Mariax. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Now, Tripura is from Florida. And what does your Uncle Shala always say about the great state of Florida? The craziest people in America come from the Bronx and all of Florida, and today is no exception, okay? Tripura is charged with felony child neglect for allegedly leaving her 2-year-old daughter unattended in a 2002 Cadillac Escalade. Now, I'm reading this story, and it says this young lady left her 2-year-old daughter locked up in a hot car with a heat index of 107 degrees. Now, I could stop Donkey of the Day right here. Okay, I could let the hee-haw fly right now, and you all would completely understand, because there's absolutely never a reason to leave your 2-year-old daughter, 2-year-old child, period, unattended in a car. Ever. The temperature don't even matter, okay? I don't care if the weather was perfect outside. You don't leave your 2-year-old unattended anywhere. But there is a reason, okay? There is a reason that Tripura left her daughter unattended in this car. Please remember that just because there is a reason, it doesn't mean it was a good one, okay? I can't think of what would be a good reason to do what she did, but I know for sure this ain't it, okay? Would you like to know what happened? Let me read this from Law and Crime, okay? Law and Crime. A Florida teenager is accused of leaving her 2-year-old daughter locked up in a hot car with a heat index of 107 degrees while the young woman watched the new Smurfs movie at a movie theater with her own siblings. Okay, she locked the kid in the car because she went to see the Smurfs movie with her brother and sister, and while they were watching the movie, the child kept crying loudly and caused a disturbance. So she decided to take the kid out to the lobby, then eventually locked the kid in the Escalade. She even admitted to the cops that she had done this a few times before. Cops said she had a real nonchalant attitude about it. It wasn't a big deal, okay? They had to break the window. Like, you know, people were passing by, saw the little girl in distress, so they had to break the window to get the young girl out. What do you call it? They had to break the driver's side window. Yes. She said she was visibly distressed. The child had a flushed red appearance, was sweating profusely, and was crying in distress. That's what the cops allege. She left her 2-year-old daughter unattended in a hot car so she could go watch the Smurfs movie with her own siblings. This is why kids shouldn't have kids. Okay, she's 18. Her daughter is 2. So she got pregnant at like 15. All right, we as a society should really be against that. And these are the reasons why. 15 and 16, you should be focused on getting your permit and your license, not focused on getting prenatal care. Okay, a 16-year-old should be worried about semesters, not trimesters. And this is the reason why she's not even, and this is the reason why, because she's not even cognitively prepared to raise a child. She's 18. Okay, she's still a goddamn child herself. And you know what kids hate? Responsibility. And you know what's the biggest responsibility in the world? Kids. Okay, kids are the most significant responsibility a person can have. If you actually care enough to raise your kids, if you actually care enough to be in your kid's life, then there is no greater obligation. All their basic needs, food, clothing, shelter, healthcare, education, and ensuring their welfare and safety. Tripura, did you hear the last part? Ensuring their welfare and safety. You treated your 2-year-old the way you wouldn't even treat your phone. Okay? You are 18. You would lose your mind if you left your phone unattended anywhere. Okay? You would never leave your phone unattended, but you got no problem leaving your child unattended to go see the Smurfs movie with your siblings. I bet all your siblings was your age or younger too. Okay? A bunch of kids, and you trying to raise one. Because there's no way people with you don't be like, well, where's the baby? Oh, I just left him in the car. And y'all just continue watching the movie all together, one big happy family. By the way, I took my daughters to see the Smurfs last weekend. I don't remember it being that fire. Okay, not fire enough to put your child in a car unattended because you might miss something. All right? Hell, I fell asleep because there was questions about the Smurfs that I never asked myself as a child. But as an adult, I'm like, damn. Okay, number one, and this is coming from the most unhealed parts of my psyche. Where the hoes at? Okay? I mean, there is no ladies in Smurfs Village. Okay, Smurfette the only one, and she was made of clay? So who were the Smurfs reproducing with? There's a Papa Smurf but no Mama Smurf? Now we understand why one Smurf's so grouchy, because he ain't getting no cheeks. And I did some research, and by research I Googled, why are there no female Smurfs? And it said natural-born Smurfs are predominantly male, and female Smurfs are created through magic. Huh? Magic? So this leads me to one conclusion, and that conclusion is that the Smurfs are all butt babies. Okay, Papa Smurf be airing out clumsy, brainy, vanity, and handy, shooting their clubs up, getting them pregnant, and they be having butt babies. Now keep in mind, I'm slightly retarded. Listen. Okay. You're listening to a retarded person here, all right? So it was brought to my attention that the stork delivers Smurfs. All right, I don't know if y'all seen that on the cartoon. The stork brings the babies, right? So if that's the case, that explains how the babies get here. But it still means that Smurf Village and the village here in New York are the gayest villages in the world. Okay, I'm saying all that to say I was asleep within the first 20 minutes of the Smurf movie. Okay, once I ate my popcorn and my peanut M&Ms, I was out and I woke up in time to see the Smurfs defeat Gargamel. But I wasn't impressed. Okay, I'm shocked that you love the Smurfs that much, Tapora. All right, kids, listen to me. Let Tripera be a lesson to you all right? You want to be out here popping that poom at a young age. You get pregnant, keep the baby. You don't have a life anymore, okay? Your primary responsibility is that child, all right? If you don't want that responsibility, then keep your mother freaking legs closed. Please let Remy Ma give Tripera Merrick's the biggest hee-haw.
Hee-haw, hee-haw. You stupid motherfucker. Are you dumb? That's crazy. I don't understand why the baby couldn't go in the movies with her if it was a kid's movie.
She was there, but then she started crying and causing a disturbance, so she took the baby out.
It's not funny, but people are stupid. People are so stupid.
They're not stupid. They're retarded. And this is why we got to keep using that word and don't ever retire that word, because there's no other way to explain people like this.
What race was she? You want to play a game?
Right. No, I don't. She was blue. She was a Smurf.
Damn.
All right.
She was a Smurf. You want to play a game?
No,
Damn.
I don't actually.
And then the girl Smurfs.
There ain't no girl Smurf but one.
There's not. There's one with one.
Smurfette.
There's another woman Smurf. There's another girl Smurf. There's another girl Smurf. Yes, there is.
I just know Smurfette.
No. That ain't no girl.
I'm not messing with you. All right.
It's Day Smurf.
Think of a donkey in a day. Now look,
Day Smurf is crazy.
800-585-1051. We're going to take your calls. Of course, we were talking about the passing of Malcolm-Jamal Warner. We're just going to open up the phone lines and talk to you. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Good morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. If you're just joining us, we're opening up the phone lines. We're sending a rest in peace to Malcolm-Jamal Warner. We played his interview up here when he was on The Breakfast Club a couple of years ago as well. We're just opening up the phone lines. He's been
there a couple of times.
Yeah,
his first time he came January 2023. He was the first guest in our new studio, but then he came last year because he launched a podcast called I think it's called
Not All Hood.
Yeah, Not All Hood.
Not All Hood. Yeah. Which I got the pleasure to be on actually a couple of weeks ago, which is crazy. When me and my wife was on our book tour, we got a chance to sit down with him for about over an hour, and then we talked a lot, mostly about just raising kids and being a husband. So, but we just open up the phone lines. Just want to take your calls. We got Malcolm on the line. Malcolm, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
How you feeling, brother? Talk to us.
I'm good. No, I just heard the whole tribute that we play out there for Malcolm-Jamal. Let me say good morning to everybody first. Good morning, Charlamagne, Jess Hilarious to everybody.
Good morning.
But yeah, I'm named after bruh. I was born in '85.
Wow.
And they didn't have a name for me when I was born. He happened to be in my city. I'm from Panama City Beach, Florida. And he was happened to be in the city, like signing autographs or something. They were like, "What's your name?" Malcolm-Jamal, and that's who I'm named after.
So your name is Malcolm-Jamal?
Malcolm-Jamal, and my last name. Can I say my last name?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Malcolm-Jamal McGriff. I'm a swimming pool contractor in South Florida. So if you look at my logo, it's like the kind of like the Jumpman logo, and it's MJ Pool. And people used to always ask, like, what MJ stand for? Michael Jordan? And I'm like, no, I'm Malcolm-Jamal.
So that means
people like, some people call me Theo and all that.
Wow.
So you're named after Malcolm X and jazz pianist Ahmad Jamal as well, because that's who Malcolm-Jamal Warner was named after.
Yeah, I just heard that Ahmad Jamal, and I wrote the name down. I want to look him up, listen to some of his music. So.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you for calling in, brother.
Oh yeah, thank y'all. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, how you guys doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Happy Tuesday Breakfast Club. It's Keena. I'm calling from Crown Heights.
Peace, Keena.
Keena, talk to us.
Hey, ladies. Hey, Jess. Hey, Lauren, MB, Charlamagne.
Good morning.
So crazy, real quick, when you say, hey, ladies, I don't know who you're talking about in this room. I just want you to know that. That could be me. That could be Envy.
She said everybody, all of us.
She did say all of us.
I'm
just saying. It's just,
You always playing around, Charlamagne. Cut it out. Leave Envy alone. Leave my cousin Envy alone. So
thank you.
I want to call in and just give sentiments about, Malcolm-Jamal Warner And, you know, everyone's sentiment kind of saying that he felt like family, and he definitely did feel like a family member just, you know, growing up, watching The Cosby Show and everything. And really it's hitting close to home for me because I just came off of a family vacation from Dominica, where I'm from. So shout out to you, Envy. You might be my cousin.
Wepa!
No, that's not it's not a Spanish album. It's a Caribbean album, sir.
Wepa.
No,
Yes.
just doing them.
Tell him again.
I got.
It's not Wepa. Dominica is one of the French islands in the Western Antilles of the Caribbean. It is a black country, Charlamagne. Come on, stop calling every Dominican.
I think my dad owns some. My dad owns some land out there. I gotta go check. My dad was talking about he might his father.
You definitely need to
But how you want to be Caribbean?
Envy definitely needs to come out there with me because one thing about Dominica, it is a very small island and everybody is definitely related. So
yeah, that's what every time I see somebody there, they ask me.
Each other.
They sit there laughing, but they don't know. They don't know.
That ain't why we laughing. We laughing at something totally different.
Casey is the last name. So if you know any Casey's out there, Casey is the last name. So if you know any Casey out there,
I'm a LeBlanc. So if your dad knows any LeBlanc, and LeBlanc is definitely a prominent name because the main highway in Dominica is the Edward Oliver LeBlanc Highway. So my family is, you know, a little bit of aristocracy, so I'm definitely going to ask about Casey for sure.
Please, thank you.
But real talk, Charlamagne, Dominica is the nature island of the Caribbean. It is one of the most beautiful places in the world. For health and wellness, you just want to be rejuvenated and just be one with nature. That's definitely where you need to go. So don't be making fun of my cousin up there, okay?
Absolutely.
But real talk, rest in peace to Malcolm-Jamal Warner. It's just really sad hearing how he passed, just doing something so normal, on vacation with his family. So that's why I said it kind of hit close to home for me because we literally the reason for our family reunion was because we experienced so much loss in the past 5 years from dealing with my parents during COVID. My cousin. So we finally just was like, you know what? This is the right time to give each other our flowers while we're still here.
That's real.
So it's just really unfortunate to hear that he passed just, on vacation with his family doing something normal and fun, it's very tragic. So
just something normal and
give
fun.
My condolences for that.
You absolutely right.
Thank you.
Because for real, we go on vacation and literally when I was in Dominica, I was in the river, just like on the rocks and off and hanging off of cliffs and things, climbing trees, and you just never realize how something so, just normal, something that you do every day, like your habitat can literally just take a turn for the worse, like Mother Nature, nature. Right. It's just unfortunate. So,
well, thank you so much for
calling
in.
And you better not start calling yourself French. Okay? What? You can't be Dominican and then start claiming French. So don't you dare. Next thing you know, Envy will be on a flyer for a French party. I can see, I know you, bro. Don't do it.
What are y'all talking about?
You so funny.
I'm funny.
Yeah.
Yes, you are gay.
You were so happy when... You're so happy when that girl called you our cousin. You found out she was from Dominica. Like, all right,
I've been through that. I be telling y'all don't be listening.
Then you talk about my father got land over there. God, get out of here.
My father's father passed away and they said that he always had land, but he just never went to see it. So I always was curious. Oh, my goodness. 800-585-1051. We're talking Malcolm-Jamal Warner.
What's up, Breakfast Club?
J.A.
Hello.
Good morning.
Peace, J.A.
So, what's up, crew? Good morning. So, I just wanted to be brief and intentional. I remember where I was when Kobe passed away. It made me hit reset on some of the things I was doing in my life. And then with the passing of Malcolm-Jamal Warner, his family was the first family I saw in my neighborhood, on TV, you name it, coming from a single-family home. So I hope men take this and put this in perspective because I see so much of Theo in my son, some of the mistakes he's making, some of the things he's trying to figure out. Be intentional. The reason I said I did something last week, I went on a trip with my brothers. Hadn't spent any time with them in probably 13, 15 years. We went on a week-long trip. And as I come back, I'm like, men have to be more intentional with their time because as they memorialize Malcolm, what's your story going to be? So it just puts it in perspective where, as a man, we should be getting our priorities together. We should be taking care of our families and, most importantly, living our lives because I don't want anybody to be afraid to take chances. But you just got to go out and you never know what time is yours. But be intentional with your time as a man. So that's what I got.
Man, you're absolutely right, J.A., because, Kobe and Malcolm hit different because these are two brothers who didn't get shot.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't overdose. They ain't even died natural causes. They were just living with their families. Kobe was out with his daughter doing her extracurricular activity, basketball. Malcolm was on vacation with his family just swimming. And, they both met these tragic demises. So, yeah, those two just hit different because that can happen to any of us.
That's right. Hello, who's this?
What's going on? It's your boy Beard and Him calling out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
What's up, brother?
What's up, King?
Man, look, wasn't blessings to you all, man. Much blessings to the whole Breakfast Club. And I pray for you guys, mental state, man. But
Thank
look,
you,
check
brother.
this out.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Anytime. Here's my thing, man. Right now, today, with this Malcolm-Jamal Warner losing, man, feel like I lost a cousin, man. Like, I really feel like I lost a cousin. Somebody I personally know, even though I don't really personally know him. You feel where I'm coming from?
Absolutely.
So, here's my take right here. Everybody should do the best they can to put out the most positive vibes so they can make sure that they leave behind the best legacy that they can to make their families proud and look back on to where, like, okay, hey, I'm not embarrassed. I'm not just that another. We all are human, which is true. But the only thing that we're guaranteed in this world is death. So make sure you do the best you can, leave behind the best, and give out all positive vibes every chance you can. And much blessings to y'all. Once again, it's your boy, Beard and Him, out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, man. Much respect to y'all.
Thank
you. Absolutely, brother.
What's the moral of the story? Ain't no moral. We just opened the phone.
It was interesting what he said because whenever I hear situations like this, I start thinking about karma, right? And they say karma, in essence, is the concept that actions have consequences, which I believe. And what you put out into the world will eventually return to you, whether good or bad. That part I'm never too sure about, but I do feel like situations like this are just a reminder to be mindful of our actions and their impact. Because that's all you can think about when a person goes, right? All you hear right now is how good of a person Malcolm-Jamal Warner was. All you hear about is the impact that he had on people, through his art. And not just his art, man. The thing that I love is when I hear people that say they worked with him and they met him and how good of a person he was. Because that's the energy I felt when I was around him a couple of times. So that's really, truly all we can be responsible for. You can't say to yourself, I'm going to do good things and I'm going to expect, good things to always happen to me and bad things will never happen to me because I do good things. No. That's not the way this world works, man.
Like you just said.
Because accidents do happen, sadly.
He was a good brother and he was proud to be a father and he was proud to be a husband. Yeah. And he was proud to be something positive in the culture. And I thank God for my time with the brother, just sitting down and talking to him. So definitely rest in peace. And when we come back, we got the latest with Loren, so don't go anywhere. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get to the latest with Loren.
Loren becoming a straight fact.
She gets them from somebody that knows somebody.
She gets the details.
I'm the homegirl that knows a little bit about everything.
She be having the latest on this.
The latest with Loren LoRosa.
Sometimes she have facts, sometimes she have details, sometimes she have a little bit of everything.
Well, it's the latest.
On The Breakfast Club.
Talk to me.
So we talked about Stephen Colbert and the Late Show cancellation. And in his first show back on air since that cancellation announcement, he addressed some things with Donald Trump. Because Donald Trump, after the cancellation announcement happened, came out on Truth Social and said, I absolutely love that Colbert got fired. His talent was even less than his ratings. I hear Jimmy Kimmel's next has even less talent than Colbert. Greg Gutfeld is better than all of them combined, including the moron on NBC who ruined the once great Tonight Show. So Stephen Colbert, like any great talk show host, said, I'm gonna address this right here on my platform. Let's take a listen to Stephen Colbert on Trump.
On Friday, Donald Trump posted, I absolutely love that Colbert got fired. His talent was even less than his ratings. How dare you, sir? Would an untalented man be able to compose the following satirical witticism? Go f*** yourself.
I love
dropping
when
a clues
they do
bomb to
that.
Stephen Colbert.
I love when they get, canceled or their shows taken off and they take to their show's platform to let people have it. Like Joy Ann Reid did the same thing. And I love when they do that.
Well, he also talked about, because a lot of people were having conversations and Trump mentioned ratings, and then people said, then CBS came out and said this was a financial decision. Colbert got into that too. Let's take a listen.
CBS, our network, CBS, who I want to reiterate have always been great partners, put out a statement saying very nice things about me and about the show, and thank you to them for that. They clarified that the cancellation was purely a financial decision. But how could it purely be a financial decision if The Late Show is #1 in ratings? A lot of folks are asking that question, mainly my staff's parents and spouses. Well, over the weekend, somebody at CBS followed up their gracious press release with a gracious anonymous leak saying they pulled the plug on our show because of losses pegged between $40 million and $50 million a year. $40 million's a big number. I could see us losing $24 million, but where would Paramount have possibly spent the other $16 million? Oh, yeah.
Yes. So he got right to the things as he should, and the full monologue is available on the on their YouTube channel as well. He makes fun of almost everything that has been said about this cancellation.
Yeah, and it's really that simple for everybody saying that the Colbert cancellation wasn't political and it was just financial. Every single late night show is having financial issues since COVID. Late night ad revenue has been damn near cut in half, and every other show has done things to cut back on costs. Jimmy Kimmel doesn't work in the summer. Jimmy Fallon only does 4 days a week. Seth Meyers cut his band. They ain't even attempt to do anything with Colbert. And out of all the late night shows on regular TV, you get rid of the highest rated show. You just get rid of it. And you think the same president who just told folks in D.C., if you don't change the name back to Redskins, I'm not approving the new stadium, you don't think he would do that to CBS knowing Paramount needs him to approve the merger between Skydance and Paramount? Come on now.
Well, yeah.
Steve should be good though.
Yeah.
Oh, he'd be fine.
He made a joke about you know them text messages that text you about like a job and hiring. He made a joke about getting one of those text messages too. So he said he gonna figure it out. Don't worry about him.
Yeah, he got 10 more months. He'll be on until next May. He gonna live his best life. It's probably be some of the best late night we've seen in a long time over the next 10 months.
I'm sure.
I agree.
Drake.
Well, speaking of other shows, Kirk Franklin has his show Den of Kings. He was up here speaking about it. Yes, I love the show as well. So he sat down with Tyler Perry, Derek Hayes, and Jeezy for another conversation in a new episode, and they talked about a lot of different things. Before we get to Tyler Perry, Kirk Franklin opened up about some of the mistakes he made in business early on. Let's take a listen.
I know that one of the biggest mistakes I made at 23 years old, I messed up, didn't own my publishing, and didn't have the money that I could have had. I missed the opportunity to really be a boss. Right?
At 23, what album was that?
The first record.
The first record.
The first record.
Why We Sing.
Why We Sing.
You didn't, or you still don't own it?
I just started to own my publishing. Guess what song was my first song owning?
What's that?
Take Me to the King. In my 40s.
So you kidding me?
So from my 20s to my 40s, I owned none of my publishing. Now, of course, is I got my songwriter's part, but I didn't get what is the most important part, that IP part, right? That copyright.
Can y'all imagine
That's crazy.
That's the reason why we sing all the way to Take Me to all those big, huge songs.
The Rebirth, those albums that led up to the one that Take Me to the King was on. That's crazy.
Crazy thing is, most artists like that though. Most artists don't own their publishing. The label buys it early on, gives them a little advance, and they're happy with that advance at the time. And then when they start selling records, they're like, "Oh, how come I ain't getting no nothing in the mail? There's no checks coming in." Then they gotta sit there and try to fight and buy it back.
I didn't see the video. What was they eating? Because it sounded like his mouth was watering. Like he couldn't even talk barely.
I forget what was on the menu this episode, but the chef makes it live, like makes it while they're talking and brings it out.
Tyler Perry, Kirk Franklin, and Jeezy. I know they eating good. Who else was there?
Derek Hayes. He Pinky Cole, Floody Vegan. It's her husband. He owns a cheesesteak brand. And he's like a big investor in Atlanta.
Philly cheesesteaks. He owns like 15 of them.
Yeah, I think they're also in Atlanta airport now too.
In Orlando, Atlanta.
Yes. Yeah,
good brother.
Whatever they was eating, the taste was still in Kirk's mouth because he couldn't barely talk.
I thought he was cooking. So that's the chef plating.
No, it's the chef.
Yeah, they have chefs there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and actually they were standing up. They hadn't even gotten like fully seated. They were just like standing up. So maybe that was like hors d'oeuvres or something that he was eating because they standing up in that clip. And then they go. Tyler Perry's like, let's go sit down. Then they sit down and continue the conversation. But as we wrap up,
Tyler Perry said, "Let's go sit down."
Because they had.
I know Kirk was like, "This is my podcast."
No, because the conversation was getting so good just off the rip. Because you got these Tyler Perry, Jeezy, all these people in the room. They start talking. Gotcha. Tyler Perry brought up a point. he talked about a lot. He talked about firing family members, but he talked about budgets and how people criticize his work, not understanding. Let's take a listen to that.
Have you ever felt like the underdog? Like
Are you kidding me? Even now, still the underdog. I am still fighting for budgets. My white counterparts in this business get all of these. They can get 10 times, 20 times. Well, I have a friend of mine gotten $27 million an episode to write television.
What?
I'm barely getting 4.
What?
And they're complaining about giving me 4. So the way they justify it is simply this. It's like, okay, well, your audience is this, and you're only going to reach this, so this is what this is worth to us. And that's been my whole struggle. But I've never been a person that sat around arguing about it, trying to, I figured it out. I'm like, okay, so what I would do is say, okay, fine. You only want to give me this, but I have to hold on to ownership. I got a lot of flack because people are just like, oh, the quality of your work. And it's always black folks that make me go, just shut your mouth because you don't understand what you're saying. The quality of work based on the amount of money I was able to get is phenomenal. But if I could ever get what my counterparts get, I'd show you something.
That's the crazy thing. I ain't never complained about his quality. The quality, his production is always like cameras and all of that. I don't know. I ain't never hear. I don't know. I hear people complain about Tyler all the time, but the quality ain't never been in question for me.
What do they complain about?
Like writers.
The writers?
Yeah, writers, and of course the stories. Like the back to back, the stories, how he make black people look. That's always been the talk. But I ain't never heard nobody complain about no quality. I mean, in the plays when he used to have Medea Mike laying on the forehead,
but it's a play.
Other than that,
I don't be knowing what's real and what's not real though, because I be seeing stuff people post until I actually watch it myself. Because I saw something the other day and they was like, they had somebody yelling "cut" while the show was on. I'm like, that ain't not real.
No,
I'm like, this can't be real.
No. I think it was, but that's the thing. That stuff don't usually happen. That's like Tubi stuff. That's funny. I see that on Tubi.
That's funny as hell.
Maybe that was a mistake, but not more recent. Not about his quality.
Not more recently. There was continuity conversations too about like,
have a blue shirt on and come back
and but I mean, at this point, like Tyler Perry's doing what he's doing at a major level, so I understand what he's saying. But
I don't even hear people complain about the wigs no more.
No,
Lauren took that energy.
Listen, exactly. At first, I was gonna. That's why I didn't say that. Because at first it was the wigs.
Yes, but he said Lauren took that energy.
I didn't say that.
Oh, I did not hear him say that. I thought he said that.
That is the latest wig on.
That never happened.
And Lauren's
don't
wig.
make me feel.
No, Lauren,
all right.
I did not know.
It's too late.
I didn't even say that.
It's too late.
Not as too late.
I didn't say that.
People's Choice mixes up next.
She's hearing things.
Don't go anywhere because she here behind the wig. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Now, Jess, where you at this weekend?
I'm in Arlington, Texas, y'all. So I'm calling the Dallas area. I'm calling the Fort Worth area. Y'all make sure y'all get y'all tickets for the shows that we got this weekend. We got 2 on Friday. We got 3 on Saturday. I just added a matinee because I won't be doing shows Sunday. So get your tickets if you have not yet. JessHilariousOfficial.com. Meet me at the Improv. And then next week, Jacksonville, Florida, your girl was coming to the city, so make sure you get your tickets. Meet me at the Comedy Zone. Love you guys. Can't wait to see you.
All right, and also, got to remind you guys, August 16th, my car show hits New Jersey. If you missed the one in Virginia, you got a chance. Kids 5 and under are free. I want you to bring your whole family out. It's a day of just family fun. It's affordable. Can't wait to see you guys. I mean, we got old cars, new cars. Salute to the BBS boys, exotics. We got rides and games for the kids. Salute to Monster Energy. They bring the BMX bikes and do tricks and exhibitions all day long. So come on out. We got food trucks, bars for the adults. Can't wait to see you guys. All right. Again, we got to send a rest in peace to Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Good brother. He passed away. Condolences to his family. Just horrible.
Yeah.
Very horrible, man. And, like I've been saying all morning, it just hits different when you see somebody out there just doing everything right, and he was just being a father on family vacation, with his wife, with his daughter, and, this tragic accident happened, man. So, you just can't escape it. You can't duck death. When it's your time, it's your time. But boy, it do feel like we be getting cheated sometimes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So rest in peace to Malcolm-Jamal Warner, man. Life well lived, though.
That's right.
Life well lived, man. Very, very, very fulfilling life he lived.
That's right. Well, before we continue on, we got to give somebody $1,000. Hopefully this cheers up the mood a little bit.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Peggy Edwards. All right. She's a single mom. She needs the money to invest in her small business. Also, her daughter was recently diagnosed with Crohn's disease. And she wants to use the money for a vacation. So congratulations again to Peggy Edwards. Congratulations again to Peggy Edwards, all right? Now, don't blow your check on brand new
Back Market has tested refurbished tech that's like new. Smart moves for school season like laptops, phones, and more. Use code SCHOOL50 at blackmarket.com. Salute the Black Market for sponsoring the $1,000 each and every day, the Daily Bread. All right? Now, Charlamagne, you got a positive note?
I do, man. I want to tell y'all, too, check me out on The Daily Show tonight. I'll be on The Daily Show tonight on Comedy Central.
Hey.
But the positive note is simply this. It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. Have a great day.
Breakfast Club, bitches!
Y'all finished or y'all done?